Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? All right, what we're going to be talking about today is the Hoover Dam and the risk that it is actually shutting down, okay? The experts are actually calling this an on-again, off-again drought for the past 2 decades, and it is depleting the Colorado River and its 2 main reservoirs. Now, if this situation continues, the millions of Americans that receive water and electricity from the Hoover Dam will be affected, okay? Now, the Colorado River feeds 2 reservoirs, Lake Mead and Lake Powell, okay? They supply water, and that powers the Hoover Dam's capability to create electricity for 1.3 million people, okay? So the Hoover Dam also provides water to 25 million people. But if water falls another 150 feet, those reservoirs, they're not going to be full enough to power the Hoover Dam. So water levels are currently 100 feet above what it takes to pass through the dam properly. Now, if they drop 150 feet, game over, okay? Game over. So the levels are getting low enough where if they get much lower, there's going to be trouble. There's trouble operating the dam in normal ways, all right? So the potential fallout, if that happens, it's going to be catastrophic, okay? As the Hoover Dam, it uses hydroelectric energy. It's a cheaper, it's a cleaner form of energy to power 1.3 million homes in Nevada, Arizona, and California. And the dam also provides irrigation water and controls the Colorado River flooding, according to geoengineer.org. Okay, if you haven't heard of that, please look it up. It's an informational website for not today, Satan, geotechnical engineers. Today. So officials, they're trying to come up with a solution right now to the electricity problem. It's a very expensive one, but they're trying to do it. So the Grand Canyon Monitoring and the Research Center economist Lucas Bair, B-A-I-R, said that if the water falls a certain level, the reservoirs, they're not going to be able to power nothing, okay? So the lower the lake level gets, the less energy you can produce from a unit of water, okay? So gotta keep an eye on that. So if you live in these states, Nevada, Arizona, California, keep an eye, okay? It's something to keep an eye on, all right? And start to prepare for power outages and stuff like that, okay? So, I've been, reiterating how to prepare for grid down and stuff like that. So, okay, so please start to prepare for things like this, okay? But this is why we prep, right on? So, it is said that a power pool could happen as soon as next year. So, if the hydroelectric power from the dam halts, energy will be replaced with more expensive and less clean sources, such as a mix of fossil fuels and renewables. And the water supply, that's even more at risk. So water has fewer substitutes than the hydroelectricity. They said that they can make up energy through fossil fuels, but they fall short on the water. They're going to have to restrict supply, okay, of water to homes, because there's no replacements for that. So when the drought occurs throughout the United States on the west side, on a normal cycle, but the climate change is increasing the frequency, the severity, when the droughts occur out there, because you know what the drought is on the west side, okay? It's not good. So even with the same amount of precipitation, the droughts, they're becoming more likely. Why? Water evaporates more quickly and less flow into the reservoirs to feed the Hoover Dam, okay? So what's the human impact going to be like? All right, well, you got Lake Mead, you got Lake Powell. You know what Lake Mead is like right now, okay? They're finding things. The mob is shaking in their boots right now. You know what I mean? And they have been for quite some time. But they are often touted as tourist destinations. But the lakes serve a greater purpose than entertainment. So Tourists are noticing the ominous bathtub ring around Lake Mead, signaling where the water levels were previously, right? So, if the water supply worsens, the first restrictions put into place will be like you can't water your lawn, requiring residents to empty their pools, no washing your car, that type of thing, okay? Now, although home water is not going to be restricted at this time, start to expect that in the near future, okay? So some residents, they're trying to preserve their water by preventing the situation from reaching that point, okay? So water levels have repercussions on local ecology as well. So if the water levels continue to fall, you're at greater risk of heating more than normal. And the heating water temperatures, they could collapse a prized trout fishery in the region, okay, because that's a big thing out there. So as the water warms up, it leads to higher food demand for the trout because why? They require more food at warmer temperatures. So the river food is limited, so they are losing weight and has an impact on the anglers there, okay? So that bathtub ring I was just talking about, it's a signal that the significance may get worse even before the levels fall too low to supply the Hoover Dam. And soon, it's anticipated that the water levels will start to affect the agriculture, okay? And agriculture consumes as much as 80% on the Colorado River and its supplies, okay? And if officials initiate further restrictions, it could mean fallowing hundreds of thousands of acres of agricultural land and eliminating irrigation supplies, okay? So start preparing now. Start preparing now for power, your power grid going out and your water restrictions. All right, guys? All right, I'm out of here. All right, I love you. I appreciate you. You stay safe. You stay positive. You keep prepping. And as always, fear less. Ciao.